Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative2xmom, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all the resources in our Christmas themed morning basket. So it's almost December, and I think Christmas is probably my favorite time of the year to plan for, so I may have gone overboard just a little bit. We have had so much fun picking up items from the library, finding printables online, thinking up projects that we're going to do this month, and like I said, I may have overplanned just a little bit more than we actually have time for. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Some of this may spill over into January. Now, this video is part of a collaboration with Heidi at Boss Mama, as well as Jessica at the Waldock Way. They challenged us to put a special Christmas spin on our morning baskets, and what a challenge. Of course, we are all in on that one. So let's get started on what we have included in this month's morning basket. So the first couple of items I want to share with you are sort of just because type items. They don't fall into a history or a science category. They were just because this looks like fun and Mom wants to include it. While we were at the library, we found this book called The 12 Days of Christmas in California, and I thought, oh, what a great little picture storybook. But there is so much more to this book than I even thought imaginable. The story is pretty simple and it doesn't go into a ton of depth, but then when you look at the other side, there's so much information for the kids. So you can read the simple story, or you can do one a day, which is what I think we're going to do. We're going to do on the 6th day, and then we'll read the letter, and then on the next day it would be on the 7th day and read the letter that goes along with it. I thought this would be a lot of fun. We live in California. We live on the northern end where there's lots of mountains and lakes and hiking and that sort of thing. But this would be kind of fun to get a good overview. California is a pretty big state, so to get a good overview of what all is really in California, I thought that would be a fun one to include. And then we have this book called Great Joys by Kate DiCamillo. I've never read this book before, but I found sort of a mini unit study involved on it, and it's about a little girl who meets a man on the street, and she starts to wonder where he goes at night. And it's about giving during the holidays, thinking of others, and I thought this would just be a good picture book to read with the kids one morning. Moving on to poetry, I've picked up 2 poetry books for us to either be for December or possibly even January. We've got It's Snowing by Kate Perletsky. We actually started this one right after Thanksgiving, and I love his poems. He's a great one if you're doing beginning poetry. And then we've got Winter Lights. This is by Anna, don't know if I can say her name, Grosnickel-Hines. It's a season in poems and quilts, and I thought this one, even if we don't finish it in January or in December, would be really beautiful for January. I love the artistry in this book. Moving on to history, I have a huge pile of books here because one of the things that I do with my younger kids is we take a break from Story of the World in December. And we're going to actually start this week, and we do 3 or 4 weeks of Christmas around the world. We pick out about 6 to 8 different countries. We read stories, we read picture books from that country, we talk about the traditions, we do projects. I always pull up Rick Steves' European Christmas because that's a great video to have on hand. So the resources that we have, and some of these, the countries will overlap a little bit, but these were the things that I pulled for history. We have Christmas Around the World, and again, another Christmas Around the World. There is another one like this. It is Christmas Around the USA, and next year when we do American history, I'm debating doing that one instead. We have Merry Christmas Everywhere. This is full of, there's a paragraph of information for each country, and then it's full of projects. This one is just for fun. It's my very first Christmas activity book, and it has just fun, simple crafts to enjoy. I'm not sure if our Christmas Around the World study, we might be short by a couple of days, so I thought it would be fun to just do some projects that last week before Christmas. And some of these are more detailed instructions of the projects that we will need. And then we have, it's the Kingfisher book of classic Christmas stories. I really liked this one because it pulled some of the classic folk tales from the countries that we will be talking about. Today we read about France. There's one for Russia in here, there's one for Italy. Focus is a lot more in the European countries, but it was a good way to get several folk tales and stories in one edition. Now we do our read alouds a little bit different in December. So from either December 1st or this year we started the day after Thanksgiving, we do a Christmas picture book. I wrap them in paper. The kids open one every night. Some of them are ours, some of them are ones we've picked up from the library. I try to add a new book every year, so it's just a little bit different. So we don't do our read aloud in the evenings. However, there were two short Christmas books that I wanted to read with the kids. This one I grabbed when I was at my mom's over Thanksgiving. I haven't read this since I was a child, but I'm excited to read it with the kids. It's about a young family who's been invited to the neighbor girl's birthday party. Her birthday is on Christmas, and how she gives back to them instead of them necessarily giving to her. And that's by Kate Douglas Wiggin. And then we have by Barbara Robinson, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. I have never read this, but I heard it was really good. And both of these are pretty short. They're only about 7 or 8 chapters a piece. So I figure if we start these the first week of December, just read a chapter a day, we should be able to finish them both by the time we go on break. These items fall in the Just for Fun category as well. A few years ago, I found a freebie word search, and there is one based on every month of the year. So I will try to link that down below if I can find it again. And so I printed out the ones for December. There's words like Christmas, Hanukkah, gift, holiday, winter. We did the one in November, and it was just a fun break from the routine that we did it during our morning time. To go along with our Christmas Around the World, I picked these up. They should be double-sided, but I just printed mine. They're to create brochures. I'm going to have each of my younger children pick a country. They're going to give me the country, the date that it's celebrated, their holiday, what their holiday is called, what the traditions, the decorations. We're going to be doing several countries together, but I printed these out for them to do their own research, to pick a country of their choice that they will then present to us just before we go on break. And then for all 3 of our kids, this is a little bit young for my 2 oldest, but I thought it would be fun to do together because we've never done this. We've never done St. Nicholas Day. And it lands on, I believe, December 5th, which is a great, Wednesdays are a good day for us. So we have some reading information, some comparing and contrasting with Santa Claus, bookmarks, and then some graphing. And then we've got our everyday stuff that we always include in our morning basket. I always try to include something science related, and we are moving into an ocean study. So of course we pulled the Professor Noggins game from our local charter school. This is not quite what I was expecting. I was looking for something that talked about the salinity of ocean water, the geography of the ocean floor, that sort of thing. This is all animals, which I should have realized because it says life in the ocean. But we are still having fun with that anyway. It's not something that we are necessarily studying in our textbook, but it's been just a fun way to learn about the animals in the ocean. And for our Bible time, we are, of course, reading in our NIV Adventure Bible. We are almost done with Matthew, and I think from there, I just purchased this. It's the New City Catechism, 52 questions and answers for our hearts and minds, and I think we're going to start going through this. I don't know if we will start it in December or if this will be something we will start in January, but our church doesn't offer a Foundations of the Faith or catechism type class for kids, so I thought this would be something that would be interesting to go through with our children in the mornings. They're pretty, as you can tell, they're pretty short, succinct, and this might even be something that we start doing some memorization with. So, like I said, I may have gone overboard just a little bit with this month's morning basket, but of course it's Christmas. Who is not excited about Christmas? And a lot of these items we will be using in our history study as well. So it's just that I'm sneaking them in during morning basket time. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're studying and you're including in your morning basket. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Also, in the description box down below, you will find links to Jessica's channel as well as Heidi's channel and a link to the playlist. I hope you will check it out and be as inspired as I have been. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.